Over the last few days, as the NDA celebrates the passage of the Women's Reservation Bill, there seems to have been a significant shift in the political strategy of the opposition led by the Congress. India parties have amplified the chorus to extend the benefit of reservation to women in the OBC community as well. And the greatest course correction of sorts has come from the grand old party. Before we tell you why we are calling it a dramatic change of stance, listen in to how Congress MP Rahul Gandhi today tried very directly to turn the spotlight squarely back on what he, in all likelihood, is going to front foot as the election plan for his party. Mandal 2.0, caste census and reservation for OBCs.
3 officers in the Government of India secretary level are OBC first, and they control 5% of the budget. So the central question is, how many OBCs are there in India? How many different communities are there in India? If we want to distribute power to the people of India, we have to know this number. The caste census should be done now, and the last caste census data should be released at once. आप किसी भी बीजेपी के एमपी से पूछ लीजिए कि वो कोई डिसीजन लेता है? बिल्कुल नहीं. ना कांग्रेस का एमपी इस लोकसभा में, ना बीजेपी का एमपी, ना कोई और इंडिया का एमपी कोई डिसीजन लेता है. एमपीज को जैसे मंदिर में मूर्ति होती है वैसे मूर्तियां बना रखी हैं, और ओबीसी की वहां पे मूर्तियां भर रखी हैं, मगर पावर बिल्कुल नहीं है. देश को चलाने में कोई भागीदारी नहीं है.
हमने आपको रिग्रेट है, अफसोस है कि उस समय ओबीसी कोटा नहीं दिया कांग्रेस ने?
100% रिग्रेट है. 100% रिग्रेट है. वो उस टाइम कर देना था, और इसको हम करके ही छोड़ेंगे.
Well, today Rahul Gandhi is saying that he regrets they did not speak about OBC quota in the Women's Reservation Bill that they passed in 2010 in the Rajya Sabha, the same party that did not include in the Hamara Hai bill in 2010, and the very same party whose UPA government first conducted a socio-economic and caste census in 2011 and 12, but never released its data, is now set to aggressively raise the issues on the streets. In fact, Times Now has learnt that nationwide protests will be carried out from the 2nd of October by the Congress and its alliance partners. The messaging is very, very clear. If the BJP thinks that they are going to mobilize the Mahila vote by bringing in the Women's Reservation Bill, the Congress is going to keep the spotlight squarely on social justice and the sizable OBC vote bank.
On 2nd of October, in all these state capitals, I have told my OBC state presidents they would impress and they will try and persuade the government that they should immediately start caste census and include the OBC ST minority.
Justice means that the ray of development goes to the marginalized section of the people in the society, and we do the hand holding so that they come into the mainstream. For this, it's Mandal 2 or whatever it is. But then yes, development with justice has to be pan-India, not only in Bihar, as Nitish Kumar has done.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी के लोग सिर्फ आरक्षण और कोटा बताना चाहते हैं, लेकिन ये नहीं बताना चाहते हैं कि इनके अंदर कौन महिला जाएगी, कौन वर्ग के लिए, यानी ओबीसी और तमाम ईबीसी, दलित, महादलित, अल्पसंख्यक समाज को ये दरकिनार करना चाहते हैं, सिर्फ वोट लेना चाहते हैं. लेकिन जनता, देश और बिहार की जनता देख रही है, इनको सबक मिलेगा, 24 में सबक मिलेगा.
Understandably, the BJP is not very amused. They are calling it a duplicitous stand, asking if this OBC consolidation is only an effort to divide the Hindus and rule.
The fact of the matter is they did nothing. They could have done something. They never did it. Let's take the OBC issue. The BJP has a large number of OBC MPs, MLAs, etc. Those figures were given. So the Congress party does not implement what it preaches for others, finds faults for something they never did. So if this does not expose their hollow political agenda, what will?
जब उनका मौका था तभी तो ये स्टैंड उन्होंने क्लियर नहीं किया था. जब उन्होंने बोल रहे थे उनको ये क्रेडिट लेनी है कि बिल हमारा सपना था, तो उसी समय ये सब कुछ चीजें आई नहीं. और जो गवर्नमेंट या गठबंधन है उसमें आज ये नई नई सोच करके वो राजनीति करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं.
Aparajita Sarangi, MP and National Spokesperson of the BJP, joins us along with Senior Editor at Swaraj, Tushar Gupta, Rajiv Ranjan, National Secretary JDU, Lokesh Jindal, Leader of the Congress. But the first question I want to put to you, Salem Dharanidhadhan, Spokesperson of the DMK. In Tamil Nadu as well, there is a huge population of OBCs. Do you agree with the Congress's strategy, or is this Team India's strategy of making OBCs the face of the opposition's campaign here on?
As I said, I have to first reiterate my party stand. So we appreciate the Women Reservation Bill. DMK has always stood for women empowerment. We were the first party in India to, when we were in power, we implemented equal access to familial property. And also, if you look, DMK is also the only first party in India to announce 1,000 rupees for women. Right, leader did it recently, and DMK was the first party to implement 33% reservation in local body election. In 2016, our late leader Kalaniar requested for that number to be increased to 50%. It was there in our poll manifesto, and then it was increased to 50%. And also, we've always believed that there has to be representation for all communities. That is why even if you look at reservation in Tamil Nadu, we have sufficient reservation for all communities. Tamil Nadu has 69% reservation, and that is why we are the most inclusive society. People who speak against reservation may say, no, it's not merit, but again, this is actual merit because we are undoing the, we are actually undoing what has injustice done to them in the last thousands of years. So Tamil Nadu is the only state which has 69% reservation, and Tamil Nadu has the highest number of OBC entrepreneurs in the country, OBC graduates, OBC doctors, as well as 1 in 4 Dalit entrepreneurs live in Tamil Nadu. So what DMK and the Dravidian model of government done is to give equal access, equity and equality for all.
But don't you find it strange that suddenly in 2023 this issue should be brought out from thin air? Nowhere earlier has there been any conversation about OBC reservation. Suddenly it becomes, Lokesh Jindal, the center point of political messaging.
Padmaja, if you read the Constitution of India, the preamble, Article 15, 16, the directive principle of the state policy, it forms the basis towards reservation for OBCs. The very basis on which today we are all supporting women reservation in the parliament, that very basis forms the fundamental as to why there should be reservation for the OBCs. Now, what Mr. Rahul Gandhi has said, that there must be a caste-based census, is logical. Because in 2011, when the Congress conducted the socio-economic caste census, and when it was submitted in 2014 to the government, subsequently in 2015, the government claimed that there are errors.
Where are the results of that census?
The government refused to make them public, claiming that there are errors in these caste
Why
census.
did the UPA government not make it public?
No, madam, during the UPA regime, it was not prepared completely. In 2014, when the NDA government came to power, the Registrar General had submitted it to the
Karnataka government carried out a census. While they were in government, they also never made it public. Why?
The census has to be carried out by the Registrar General and the Ministry of Home.
Sir, where are the results?
About the central government. So
you have carried out various census. Where are the results?
So you must ask the NDA government. It was submitted to the NDA government. NDA government was clearly told that about 98.4% of the findings are true. But still the government claimed that there are some marginal errors, and that is why it was not published. So first of all, the government must publish the socio-economic caste census that was carried out in 2011 and conduct caste census again, because that will form the basis on which the future reservation policy shall take shape.
Doesn't it seem strange to you that first the Congress government in the 80s did not move a finger on the Mandal Commission report? It took a VP Singh to bring that in. Then you have got a census done whose results you have kept secret at the national level. Then you have done it at state level. We still do not know what the outcome of that is. Every time, and Tushar Gupta, is this again strategically timed? You have got a women's bill and then you have got an OBC plank.
You know, Padmaja, the Congress has absolutely no plan. Let's not fool ourselves into believing that Rahul Gandhi is indeed worried about the OBCs or any other community for that matter in this country. He parroted the same lies perhaps forward him to buy an NGO about the number of secretaries in the government at the OBCs, and then he had to be corrected by the ministers who had to remind him that until 1992 there was no OBC reservation. Now, because that has fallen flat, he's come up with the Lok Sabha jibe that they are merely statues. And while we are speaking about his preference for the OBC community, how he wants to act as very inclusive, what was the jibe where he said that the MPs, even the OBC's MPs, have been reduced to मंदिर में जैसे मूर्ति रखते हैं, उनके पास पावर नहीं है? Is Rahul Gandhi saying that millions and millions of SCs, STs, people from general category or OBC category, whatever, who are Hindus first, and then they are OBCs or SCs or STs or general, but Hindus first, their murtis are powerless? The temples in their home do not mean anything? You know, Padmaja, the eventual goal of the Congress, to sum it up, is to divide the Hindu vote, capture the minority vote and win the election. This has nothing to do with serious policy making, because if they were serious about policy making, they would have passed the Women Reservation Bill in 2010. If they were serious about the OBC reservation, they would have campaigned it from 2014, not suddenly in 2023. If they were serious about the development and the social justice for the OBC community, we would have seen it implemented in the Congress and the Congress ally governed rule states first, not just a simple demand 6 months before the elections for an OBC caste census or a caste census and OBC reservation. So all in all, this is a ploy by the Congress to merely divide the Hindu vote and then break it up so as to win the national election. Absolutely nothing else. And in doing that, they're also happily insulting the Hindu community once again today. Uday Stalin said that Sanatan Dharam is equivalent to dengue or malaria or whatever he meant by that. Today, Rahul Gandhi has said...
Okay, quick response, Lokesh Jindal, then I want to bring in the BJP and Rajiv Ranjan. Yes.
I think that there are certain questions that need to be answered. First of all, what is preventing the government from implementing the women reservation immediately? Why should we wait for the 2026 delimitation? No. Tell me one thing. No.
Lokesh,
why is it? Tushar, allow me to complete my question.
Answer simply about OBC reservation. What has stopped you so far from getting the OBC reservation in states where you are in power, or when you were in power at the center? What stops you from giving more representation to OBCs within the Congress party?
Allow me to answer. Up till 1991, there was greater participation of the state. There was no liberalization, privatization, and globalization. Post 1991, with the gradual transformation in the economy, there was a necessity to have certain social security net for the marginalized communities, which was duly implemented by the Congress regime in 1992. And subsequently, in time to come, Congress has always provided necessary social security net for all these marginalized communities.
Do you have a reservation for OBCs within your own party in giving tickets? Let me ask the simplest question. When Priyanka Gandhi wanted to give more representation to women, she said 40% of all tickets in UP Assembly elections will be given to women. Has the Congress party ever said that we want 30% of all tickets within the Congress party to be given to OBCs? What stopped you?
What I would say is wait and watch. 2024 elections, wait and watch.
You also wait and watch. Maybe 2024, BJP will give tickets to 30% OBCs. They already have 30% representation in terms of their MPs.
The upcoming elections.
You are like, there is no representation, there is no representation. Why haven't you given representation to OBCs?
So what I'm saying is Rahul Gandhi made an honest submission to this. He said that in 2010, he should have included the issue of a women quota.
I didn't leave the women folk for now. OBCs as a whole, what have you done to empower them at the level of a party? What stopped you?
At the level of the party, if you look at the grassroots level, it is the Congress that is standing for the OBCs.
How?
It has separate Sangathan for the OBCs at the grassroots level.
Everyone does.
Congress stands.
Even the BJP has an OBC morcha. What's the big deal? Everyone has an OBC morcha.
The farmers issue, the issues relating to the marginalized section, to the rural areas, the issues with respect to health, education and income of those marginalized communities is being taken up by the Congress.
How?
The BJP has centered around certain urban areas, certain communities, and there is increasing concentration of wealth taking place.
Sir, 27% of even the MLAs the BJP has present are OBCs. What is this figure for the Congress? Answer me.
No, that is not out of choice, but that is out of necessity. The
BJP,
if it has to win elections,
how do you know?
It has to win election. It is UP elections, everybody knows.
Okay, then what is the percentage of OBC MLAs in the Congress?
Candidates.
Are you saying that Congress doesn't have any OBC members who are capable of winning elections? Are you saying that OBCs are incapable in the Congress?
every OBC community knows that which is the political party that stands for their cause, and that is Congress.
This is such a generic statement. Tushar Gupta wants to respond. I want to bring in Aparajita Sarangi also. Just a second, please. Let me bring in Ms. Sarangi. Aparajita Sarangi, today the Congress is saying, fine, you can accuse us of not having stood up for OBCs all of this while, but now we do. To the extent that Rahul Gandhi said, yes, we should have had an OBC quota way back in 2010 as well in the Women's Bill. Today they are saying, as an evolved party, we are going to champion the OBCs.
A very good evening. See, for the past 2 days, the entire nation has been thanking Prime Minister Modi, his government, and of course all those MPs who came forward cutting across party lines for supporting the Women Reservation Bill. Now, here is a situation which we must understand. The Congress is feeling left out. Congress wants some kind of credit given to it, and that is why it is actually drawing up an agenda for justification of its relevance or existence. And that is why this OBC thing has suddenly come up. They have voted on the floor of the House, remember, in both the Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha. And suddenly, one day after they make a U-turn, they realize that, people would forget them, people would not give them the credit. So this is absolutely unfortunate, and everybody can understand the reason behind this kind of somersault. This is one part. Number two, example is better than precept. See, they have to do what they preach. In UP elections, the state elections that took place, Priyanka Vadra actually distributed the tickets to 40% of women. I mean, the tickets that went, 40% were women. Why didn't she come forward and say, okay, out of this 40%, we will take care of the OBC too? She did not do that. And at the same time, we have discussed that, but at the cost of being repetitive, I would like to say that 9th March 2010, when the bill had been brought to the Rajya Sabha and it was passed by 2/3 majority where Bharatiya Janata Party had supported, I have gone through that particular bill which had been passed. There is absolutely no mention of OBC there.
But today Rahul Gandhi said it was a mistake.
The gentleman,
in hindsight, he says we should have put it.
That, he should be relevant in the system, and that is why now he is saying all this.
Okay, this is only looking for relevance.
As far as the Bharatiya Janata Party is concerned, in fact, I have a list of data. I have a list of the works that we have done for the OBC. And our Prime Minister is from the other backward caste.
Okay, let me bring in Rajiv Ranjan ji. Rajiv Ranjan ji, Bharatiya Janata Party का कहना है कि ये सिर्फ एक relevance के लिए एक नया शिगुफा है. पहले था कि भाई आप क्रोनी कैपिटलिज्म की बात करेंगे 2019 में. अब आप एक नया शिगुफा लेकर के आए हैं कि भाई ब्यूरोक्रेसी में इतने कम ओबीसी क्यों हैं. अब आप बाबुओं में भी ओबीसी को रखिए, आप प्राइवेट इंडस्ट्री में भी ओबीसी को रखिए. ये एक नया शिगुफा है, ओनली फॉर रेलेवेंस. राजीव रंजन जी.
देखिए, सबसे पहले मैं आपके सवाल का 2 हिस्से में जवाब देना चाहूँगा. राहुल गांधी ने एक ईमानदार कोशिश की, उन्होंने एक साहस जुटाया, उन्होंने ईमानदारी के साथ स्वीकार किया कि 2010 में ये फैसला उन्हें लेना चाहिए था, उनकी पार्टी को लेना चाहिए था. और ये रिग्रेट एक्सप्रेस करके उन्होंने भारतीय जनता पार्टी को ये एहसास करा दिया है कि जो गलतियां बीजेपी ने ओबीसीज के लिए, जो शेड्यूल कास्ट, शेड्यूल ट्राइब और महिलाओं के साथ जो उनके दोहरे मानदंड हैं, इसके लिए उन्होंने कभी क्यों नहीं माफ़ी मांगी. ये बात तो नरेंद्र मोदी जी भी कह सकते थे कि 9.5 साल लगे मुझे जगने में, चुनाव जब करीब है और इंडिया की बढ़ती ताकत से जूझना पड़ रहा है तो आपको महिलाओं के आरक्षण की याद आ गई. अब पहली बात तो ये है कि अगर साहस है तो बिहार में ये काम इच्छा शक्ति के साथ नीतीश कुमार जी ने महिलाओं के आरक्षण का जो बिहार मॉडल है उसे लागू करके उस इच्छा शक्ति का परिचय दिया. जो ओबीसीज, ईबीसीज, इन सबों को, महिलाओं को जो आरक्षण मिला, उस आरक्षण का नतीजा है कि इन वर्गों से एक मजबूत नेतृत्व की पंक्ति तैयार हुई. अब जो ओबीसी रिजर्वेशन को लेकर के जो सवाल उठ रहे हैं या ओबीसी को लेकर के जो कास्ट सेंसस की बात हो रही है, तो बिहार ने तो काफ़ी बीजेपी के सामने और पर्दे के पीछे से उनकी तमाम साजिशों को विफल करते हुए जाति आधारित गणना का कार्य पूरा किया, जबकि सुप्रीम कोर्ट में जो उनका हलफनामा है उससे बिल्कुल तस्वीर साफ हो गई कि जो उनकी अवसरवादिता है ओबीसी सेंसस को लेकर के, कास्ट सेंसस को लेकर, उस पर पूरी तरह से बीजेपी एक्सपोज हुई। अब एक नए सिगुफे की तैयारी में भी हैं ये। अभी एक रिपोर्ट जिसको बहुत जल्द हो सकता है वो इंट्रोड्यूस करना चाहे या उस पर कुछ बहस करने की कोशिश करें, वो अब चाहेंगे कि अब जो SC ST कोटे के अंदर उनकी कोशिश है कि वो उन जातियों की पहचान करें जिनको विकास की रोशनी जिन तक नहीं पहुंची या जिन्हें विकास का लाभ नहीं मिला। तो बिहार में तो महादलित मिशन नीतीश कुमार जी ने बहुत पहले बनाया था और उससे बहुत सारे काम हुए, काफी बड़ा बदलाव उन वर्गों में हुआ है।
ठीक है राजीव रंजन जी, अगर ये सब काम आपने बिहार के अंदर किए हैं तो आज जब कांग्रेस बात कर रही है ओबीसीज की एट अ नेशनल लेवल, उन्होंने ये सब चीजें एट अ नेशनल लेवल पहले क्यों नहीं की? मतलब मुमकिन तो है ना, तो पहले कर देते। आज ये दिन ही नहीं आता। 2004 से 2014 के बीच में ये कर देते।
मानना है कि दरअसल देखिए, राहुल गांधी जी की ईमानदार स्वीकारोक्ति का भी हम लोगों को आदर करना चाहिए। उन्होंने कहा, और आज इंडिया में जो लोहिया, डॉक्टर राम मनोहर लोहिया, लोकनायक जयप्रकाश नारायण, स्वर्गीय कर्पूरी ठाकुर, जो इनकी विचारधारा थी, जो इंक्लूसिवनेस को लेकर के जो उन्होंने जो भी बातें कही, वो आइडियोलॉजीज उनको जमीन पर उतारने का काम आज अगर इंडिया के दबाव में कोई भी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी अगर करती है तो मैं मानता हूं कि उसे ईमानदारी के साथ लागू करने का मादा भी होना चाहिए। ये अनसर्टेनिटी नहीं होनी चाहिए कि महिला बिल जिसमें हिंदुस्तान के तमाम पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज ने
सवाल का जवाब नहीं दिया। आप कह रहे हैं कि ओबीसी रिजर्वेशन कास्ट सेंसस इज पॉसिबल इन बिहार, आपने करके दिखाया। तो ये नेशनल लेवल पर उन पार्टियों ने क्यों नहीं किया जो आज ओबीसीज के नाम की गुहार लगा रही हैं? व्हाट स्टॉप्ड देम? देखिए, ऑपोजिशन में बैठ करके बोलना बहुत आसान होता है। ऑपोजिशन में बैठ करके आप ये भी बोल सकते हैं मैं 10,000 रुपए महीना उनको दूंगी, मैं 50 लाख रुपए उनको दूंगी, मैं फला चीज उनको दे दूंगी। जब सरकार में आप थे, जब आपके पास पावर था, तब क्यों नहीं किया? ये सवाल तो पूछा जाएगा ना।
सवाल पूछा जाएगा तो जवाब तो बिहार है।
अरे तो इस इंडिया में क्यों नहीं किया कांग्रेस
ने? तो बिहार में
आपने कर लिया, देश में क्यों नहीं किया?
नहीं, वही आपको मैंने जवाब दे दिया। पद्मजा जी देखिए, थोड़ा धैर्य से, आप पूरी बात सुनती नहीं है तो सुन लीजिए। मैंने कहा राहुल गांधी के पास ये साहस है, ये आत्मबल था कि उन्होंने कहा उनसे गलती हुई, उनकी पार्टी से चूक हुई, उन्होंने जाहिर किया कि कहीं ना कहीं उनसे चूक हो गई है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी ये क्यों नहीं कहती है कि उन्हें सत्ता में केवल ये 9.5 वर्ष नहीं मिले हैं? अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी की भी सरकार बनी और इसके उस समय भी कुछ उन्होंने नहीं किया। आज जब उनकी सरकार बनी तो 9.5 साल, और जब चुनाव दहलीज पर है, तब आप जब चुनाव दस्तक दे रहा हो, तब आपको महिलाओं की याद आई। और ये भी 2024 में फायदा नहीं मिलेगा।
ऑनेस्ट मिस्टेक एंड अ चेंज ऑफ हार्ट। सुबह का भूला जब रात को घर आता है तो उसे भूला नहीं कहते, उसे कांग्रेस कहते हैं।
हाँ, जेडीयू को तो काफी पता होगा इस बारे में। ये चुनाव से पहले इनके यहाँ काफी पलटबाजी होती है विधायकों की, एमपीज की। खैर वो बात छोड़िए, जिस साहस की बात कर रहे हैं कि राहुल गांधी ने बहुत साहस दिखाया, बहुत बल दिखाया, मिस्टेक एक्सेप्ट करी। क्या इन्हें पता है 2010 में यूपीए की कौन सी वो 2 पार्टियां थी जो विमेन रिजर्वेशन बिल के अगेंस्ट थी? क्या बता सकते कौन सी 2 पार्टियां थी? आज ये बहुत साहस की बातें कर रहे हैं, पूछ रहे बीजेपी का साहस का है, वाजपेयी जी का साहस का है। क्या ये बता सकते 2010 में वो 2 पार्टियां यूपीए की कौन सी थी जिन्होंने विमेन रिजर्वेशन बिल से पीछे अपना हाथ खींच लिया था? वो नहीं बताएंगे। लोकेश जिंदल बात करते हैं कि कांग्रेस कि बीजेपी एक अर्बन पार्टी है। क्या 350 सीटों वाली लोकसभा में पार्टी एक अर्बन पार्टी है? लोकेश जिंदल बात करते हैं कि कांग्रेस ही है जो ओबीसी के साथ खड़ी है। अगर ये सच होता है, यूपी में कांग्रेस का हाल ऐसा क्यों है? बिहार में ऐसा हाल क्यों है? महाराष्ट्र में ऐसा हाल क्यों है? कहां है कांग्रेस के ओबीसी लीडर्स? कहां क्यों नहीं दिखते वो लोग?
Okay, Lokesh Jindal, Padmaja,
Again, I'm repeating the same thing.
Padmaja, I'll just answer your previous question. You asked what did the Congress do? You look at the entire 10-year tenure of UPA, right from all social security schemes, whether it is MG Narega, right to education, right to information, Forest Rights Act. In 2008, when UPA came to power, it introduced the first 2009-2010 so as to bring about reservation of women. And along with that, in 2011, it carried out socio-economic caste census. The Land Acquisition Act and all these forms of reforms were introduced by the UPA. But what happened in 2014, the moment NDA came to power, it had applied brakes to all these measures that UPA had taken. There was a complete shift that happened and OBCs were neglected. In fact, let me tell you, Congress was quite sincere in its resolve to uplift the cause of the OBCs. I can give you with facts and data. So when Rahul Gandhi today, he says that the OBCs... Yes,
what have you done to specifically uplift the cause of OBCs?
No, because when you're talking about, you look at all the economic policies, the highest amount of Food Security Act, the National Food
But that doesn't count, sir. The same applies to all BJP schemes also. They also tell you that the maximum number of beneficiaries in all their schemes, whether it be, women beneficiaries, whether it be Har Ghar Jal, all of those are also highest number of beneficiaries are OBCs. I am asking you, what are your targeted schemes for OBCs? Today you are not talking about schemes. Today you are saying targeted reservation for OBCs. Salem Dharanidhadhan, final word to you. Do you think that this is a gamble that will pay off, or people are going to see through it as opportunistic?
See, this is very clearly opportunistic by the BJP. Though we welcome the bill, but there is no date on which the bill will be implemented.
I'm talking about Rahul Gandhi asking for an OBC reservation.
No. See, I will first. BJP is doing opportunism. This is what I'm trying to say. What did Yogi Adityanath say? Today, the Honorable Member of Parliament, Derek O'Brien, has said what Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister has told about Women Reservation Bill. He has told people in air-conditioned room in Delhi cannot decide public policy. This bill will drown Indian political system if it goes through. Western ideas of women's liberation should be properly analyzed in Indian context. This was told in the Parliament today by Derek O'Brien. That this has been told by Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Adityanath. So BJP doesn't want to bring this bill, but that's why they don't have a date.
Okay, so basically you are saying that if there is opportunism on the part of the BJP, by bringing in the women's bill, you are going to counter it by another move, even if it is also being seen as equally opportunistic. That's, I guess, the bedrock of politics. I'll leave it at that. Thanks very much, all gentlemen, and Aprajita Sarangi for joining me. Thanks for watching.